This video is going to be all about Cheuk Cheuk's social skills over the past 6 months. So a sort of global review of how that's been from the beginning to now, and looking at some of the things we've been trying to teach him in that area. So if you remember, Cheuk Cheuk was not so social with us in the beginning. If you remember, there was that clip with the crocodile, and you can see Winky's trying to engage him, being really fun, but he just isn't even really paying attention to her at all, and he's just focused on what he's doing. If we called his name or tried to interact with him, he may not respond to us or may walk away. He didn't really seem that interested in us when he first arrived, so we really wanted to work on that. And it's a common problem with kids with autism that we see. So one of the first things we wanted to try to do is to try to build his interest in sort of what we call social reinforcement. That may be picking the child up, or spinning them around, tickling them. As a person, he would notice that are very social kinds of reinforcers. And actually, he liked quite a few. And you can see these videos of like different things that we would do with him to get a smile and some engagement. And those activities are all about us. He can't sort of do that on his own. He needs us to sort of be part of that interaction. So we spend quite a bit of time to develop those and also do those kinds of things with us so that he would become a bit more interested in us as people. We also wanted to work on his joint attention with us because we noticed he didn't look at us very much for information or to see what we were doing. So we also developed activities where we would be doing something with him and we would stop. And then when he looked at us to kind of engage with us again, we would carry on the activity to encourage him to sort of be more engaged with us, to look at us for more information. And so we also practice some of these areas to increase his joint attention with us. When looking at what he might do with his peers, we wanted to sort of look at, well, what can he do? If we brought a child over, what games is he going to play and how are they going to interact with each other? We don't know what the other child's going to do. So we began by just picking very simple activities and having him do those with us and seeing if he could enjoy those activities with us, know quite well what to do, become fairly fluent with those, so that when we bring in another child, he knows exactly what to do and how to do, and so that the play date would go a bit smoother. So we wanted him to interact maybe a bit more with his brother. He was a sort of easily accessible kind of person to have come over to the office. There were other children he also played with, but his brother was someone we had coming in. And we devised a series of sort of like simple activities that we thought would be really fun, that would be quite interactive, that would promote more joint attention and shared enjoyment among the brothers. But we kept it really, really simple. You'll see there's a game here, which is the chasing game, which is quite an easy one, which Cheuk Cheuk really likes. We did a ball activity where they roll a ball and they have to go, the brother needs to put it in the bin and run back and finish that. There was a water balloon activity where they're just bursting balloons into a bucket. And another activity they love to do was hide and seek. So these were all like really interactive activities they could do together. They had a lot of fun doing them. And we hope that this can build Cheuk Cheuk's interest in his brother and a bit more interest in other people, and to build a little bit more social relatedness with his peers. We also worked on some language kind of tasks, which was around maybe requesting for things from his brother. That might be when he was doing a puzzle, or it might be during a snack time, but to encourage some spontaneous communication with his peers. That was another activity that we've been practicing. How to be more observational of his peers when learning new things. So we would do some activities where we would not direct him as a teacher what the information was, and we may ask the peer, or he may have to observe and listen to the peer, so that he's starting to now learn not just from the teacher but also from his peers, and we call this social learning. Two other little programs we were doing was to have him a bit more aware of his environment. and what might be going on, and to be a bit more in tune with things that people would be doing around him. So one very simple program we did is we had people knocking on the door quite often, and for him to understand, oh, when you hear that noise, that means there's somebody out there. And we wanted him to be a bit more aware of those sort of more everyday environmental kinds of aspects that go on and that relate to what people do, and to take a bit more notice when those things happen.
咁彈手 twinkle twinkle。
飛出。
係喎，哇！哥哥嚟揾你玩喎。
We also worked on his commenting. Again, we've done a lot of requesting work with him, but we also wanted to teach him to initiate, to share some of his ideas or thoughts about things he was interested in. So commenting was also a program we've been spending time on.
係喎，公園入坐翻先，坐翻先。公園入邊咧有鴨仔嘅喎，我哋去農場入邊啦。有牛啦，有馬啦，係喎要坐翻好㗎。有牛啦，有馬啦，佢哋都係咧住喺農場入邊。
So we're happy with his progress these 6 months in the social domain. He's become more interested in us for sure, and we've developed much more of a wider range of social reinforcements that he loves to do. And, he's been showing more interest in his brother at home, which has been wonderful. So we'll continue our journey with this, and we'll see what we can do in the coming months.